Hi everyone, B here with This Girl Can wants to know, what is Zumba? This week I was really lucky to talk to Sorrel, who is a massive supporter of This Girl Can and a Zumba instructor. I hope you enjoy.
Right. Hi, Sorrel.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm really good. I'm really well. Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. So you are a very, very, very qualified Zumba instructor. What is Zumba?
So Zumba is a type of fitness class, a type of workout that is sort of grounded in Latin dance. So the idea is that you have all these different Latin dance styles like salsa or merengue or reggaeton or samba, things like that. And Zumba sort of simplifies those steps a bit and then pulls steps from all those different genres of Latin dance and sort of mashes them all together in a fitness way. So it's not like it's a bit different from a HIIT class. It's not sort of any weights or anything like that. It's just sort of moving your body to great music and hopefully having a lovely time in the process.
Yes. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to ask you. I am very curious. Do you get to choreograph your own routines?
Yes. Well, yes, we do, but you also don't have to. So Zumba, like as a company, like the big bosses at Zumba, they provide us instructors with a lot of material, so we can sort of watch that and use the choreography that's already been sort of created for us. Which I did certainly a lot more when I was first starting out as an instructor. But yes, we can choreograph our own. So in my classes, I'd say probably about 40% of them of the songs are ones that I've done myself, and then the other 60% is choreography that I've sort of picked up from either other Zumba instructors or from the stuff that we've been sent. It's nice to have a mix. It's nice to not have all the pressure of choreographing all the stuff yourself, even though it is really fun. I do really enjoy it.
Cool. So this girl can is all about physical fitness, mental health, all of that fun stuff. So
Yes.
how is Zumba good for those things?
I'll start with mental health because this is something that I feel quite strongly about as well. I love Zumba for the main reason that I just think it's such a feel-good workout. It's very music focused, so if you love music, you've got all these sort of fantastic Latin party rhythms behind you, which just like, I defy anybody to listen to a salsa track or a merengue track and not want to dance. So that's really fun. And also the community aspect is really good. In my classes, I normally have sort of between 5 and 12 participants at the moment. But we've all really got to know each other as people outside of Zumba too, and it's really lovely to have that sort of community aspect. And then obviously physical activity, all the endorphins that get released, all those feel-good chemicals in the brain. I get massive doses of those, I think, when I do Zumba, because I always end up feeling great afterwards. And yeah, it's a full body workout. So you've got your cardiovascular in there, it's really good for your heart. We try and balance it between, we'll do some upper body, lots of armography and toning that upper body. And then the next song, we might be doing loads of jumping around, sort of working our lower body too. So it's nice and balanced. And yeah, just a really good sort of all round feel good way to exercise. I think I love it.
That's great. How long have you been Zumbaing, and how did you get into it?
So I've been Zumbaing for about a year now as an instructor. I got into it slightly randomly, really. So through basically for most of 2019, I was living in Spain, doing a job in a hotel as like an entertainer type person, which was brilliant. And as part of that, we got to do a lot of work with kids, and we were sort of teaching kids like party dances and stuff, like the classic sort of package holiday.
I've done exactly the same.
I loved it when I was a kid, and I got to be the person doing it, which was great. And I had a parent come up to me and basically be like, "You're brilliant teaching the kids all these dance routines. Have you tried Zumba?" And I had, at that point, I'd done it as a participant and really enjoyed it. And yeah, this parent said, because I'm a Zumba instructor, and having seen you and what you do with the party dancers for the kids, I think you'd be really good at it. So I sort of thought, oh, okay, I'll look into that. So I went to a couple more classes when I got back to the UK, and then just fell in love with it and thought, yeah, this is brilliant. I'm going to have a lovely time doing this, and if I can spread that joy and get more people involved with it, then great. So yeah, that was about this time last year, and I've been doing classes since then, really. Mostly online, given that we've been in lockdown for most of 2020. But
it does feel almost an entire year at this point. In fact, it must be nearly an entire year at this point.
Yeah, we're getting on for it. But yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a good year nonetheless. I try and find the positives, and Zumba has been a massive positive for me.
Question that I was going to ask at the end, but seeing as we've kind of moved on to the topic naturally,
yes.
Does Zumba translate well to an online audience? Does that?
Yes, I think so. I think a lot of Zumba instructors were very skeptical about how it would work online, because so many of us got into it because we love people and we love, to feel the energy of everybody in the room with us. But I do find with my Zoom classes that you do get that. You can feel that still through the screen. And yeah, I think it works really, really well, as long as my participants can see me and hear me. They can just copy me from their own homes. And it's been really good. I've had a couple of participants who have come to my online classes and have said to me, I would never have gone to a Zumba class in a gym or in a fitness facility because I feel too self-conscious about like what I'm doing or the way I look, or whether I'm doing it right. I don't know, but we'll put it in whether we're doing it right. But they said the online ones have been brilliant because they don't have to have the camera on. There's nobody else like in the room with them necessarily, so they can just have a lovely time, on their own. And yeah, it's just you've got your shower and your cup of tea right there as well afterwards, which is great. But yeah, I think it does translate really well online, and also because of for me personally, I don't have to worry about like studio costs or anything like that, because I'm doing it from home, which means that I can make my prices a bit lower, so it becomes more accessible. And yeah, it's just been, and it's really nice to sort of connect with people from outside your local area. Like I'm in Lambeth in South London, and I have a lady from America that does my classes every week. I have a lady in Wales. I've got my mum who lives up in North Yorkshire who comes every week. So we've sort of got this really big, like geographically widespread community, which is lovely. So yes, if you've ever felt self-conscious about going to an in-person class, please try online, because it is a completely different experience, and it might just be for the better, so you can build your confidence up a little bit.
Thank you, that's a brilliant answer. Right, what appealed to you specifically about Zumba? What grabbed you?
I think the music for me, in the first instance. It's just unlike anything you hear in other fitness classes from my experience. So, and the sort of party atmosphere of it too. Like I think I can speak for most Zumba instructors where we don't take ourselves too seriously. And so, we're all there to have fun in the first instance. And the fact that we sort of can get fit and have all this amazing exercise is kind of secondary to the having fun bit. So that's what sort of pulled me in, and I'm hooked on it now. I just love it.
Fabulous. Can anybody try Zumba?
I would say yes, but there are different sort of classes available for different age groups. So I teach just sort of normal Zumba. And I would say that that is suitable for people from probably the age of 15 at the lower end, to then sort of 50. But again, you know, I've got 20-year-old students, and I've also got a lady in her 60s that comes to my class, and they're cool with that. If you are younger than 15, Zumba Kids does exist. I'm not 100% sure where the sort of local class would be for you guys. But yeah, it depends on the instructor as well. There's also Zumba Gold, which is designed for older people. So my day job, I work with older people in South London. So I've been recommending Zumba Gold to them as sort of a way to keep the fun and keep the energy, but just make it a little bit easier on a little bit less intense on the body. Yeah. But in terms of like whether you've danced before or your sort of level of physical fitness or whatever, I think it's absolutely for everybody. You don't have to have dance experience to be able to do Zumba. And yeah, as long as you can, you know, you can move and you enjoy having a nice time and you enjoy having fun, then absolutely give it a go. It's great.
Fabulous. Do you need any specialist equipment for it?
No, and it's one of the best things about it. You don't need anything except yourself and some trainers. It's I mean,
always throw a bottle of water in there every
yes, oh yes, that too. God. Yeah, so yourself, clothes and shoes you can move in, and a bottle of water are all you need. If you sweat a lot like me, you might also want a towel, but that's about it.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, and you can do it from home. You can do it, you know, as long as you have enough space and you're not going to trip over anything, then yes, absolutely. It's you just need yourself mainly.
Fabulous. Another question, and I think you've already kind of touched on this.
Yes.
Is Zumba expensive?
It depends on the instructor, honestly. So the way that it sort of works in terms of pricing is each instructor can set their own prices if they're teaching their own class, like independent classes. Instructors that teach in gyms and fitness facilities, you know, that price might be set by the facility. I can only really speak for myself, but for me personally, my classes are £3.50 each, and that's for an hour. Or you can get 5 classes for £15. And sort of there are lots of instructors around that benchmark, and there are other instructors who might be a bit higher, might be a bit lower. But I think generally it is it's not the most expensive workout you're going to find. And I think that's largely because you do really only need yourself. Like, you don't need anything specialist, as we've said. So yeah, I think that most of us instructors, you know, we try and keep it as affordable and accessible as possible. But like, for me personally, I think that money should never be a barrier to exercise. So I say to my participants, like, you know, if something has happened, just come and talk to me. Like, we can sort something out. And I think a lot of instructors are like that. But yeah, it's also, if you want to come to one of my classes, first one is free. So, and a lot of other instructors do that. So you can give it a try, no problem, and see what you reckon.
You'll have to give me your details afterwards so I can share it with people and get people coming to
yes,
more
absolutely
people coming to your class. Right.
Well, I mainly operate on Instagram, but yeah, I will. We can do that.
That's kind of perfect for our audience, I think. Right. Is there anything that you love about Zumba?
I love the accessibility of it. I love the fact that whether I'm teaching or participating in a Zumba class, it's a real escape. I think, you know, you've got the music and you've got the moves and you've got the instructor and you're just sort of following them, and it's a party. Like, you can leave whatever else is going on at the door and just sort of really let yourself go for an hour. And I always say to my classes, like, I will be doing a set of moves at the front. If whether or not you are doing the same set of moves, I don't care. Just have a nice time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, as I said before, the music as well. The music is amazing.
And my last question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like our Zumba curious audience to know?
I don't think there's anything else that I want them to know necessarily. I think I would just say, just try it. Honestly, it is really unlike anything else exercise wise that I've experienced before. And it really is fabulous fun. So my advice would be, just give it a go. Especially we're sort of in lockdown and you can do it over Zoom. If you don't feel confident, just turn your camera off. That's fine. Like, this is one of the best opportunities that you're going to have to try Zumba and try something like this in an environment where it's completely non-judgmental, and there's nobody else with you. You don't have to have anybody else see you if you don't want to. Just give it a go. And I honestly defy anybody to not have fun at a Zumba class. It is really, really, really good laugh. And yeah, there's loads of instructors out there, so you can shop around, find the one that's for you. But yeah, no, I would recommend it to anybody. I really would.
Thank you so much for all of your brilliant answers. I think we've got a lot of stuff to commend Zumba to us. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This Girl Can is like, I love This Girl Can. I think it's an amazing initiative. And yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. This has been really good fun.
Thank you so much for being here. It's brilliant to have someone that's so positive about This Girl Can, about exercise, about the things that they teach. So the last thing I would say is, if our audience has any questions for you,
yes,
where's the best Instagram?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Zumba with Sorrel, SORREL. So yes, you can find me on there. Drop me a follow. You can drop me a message, and as I say, if you want to try one of my classes, just drop me a DM and we can sort that out.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Did anyone count how many times I said Zumba in that interview? Sheesh. Anyway, if this fast, feisty and musical form of exercise has caught your fancy, then you can go to the Zumba website where they have a Find a Class tab. You type in your postcode and it gives you a list of all of the local classes in your area. If you live in the Hillingdon and surrounding areas, you can go to coactivefitness.co.uk. That is coeactivefitness.co.uk. They are a local exercise class provider and have a Zumba class that, if you are under 16, you're allowed to attend with a responsible adult. Most Zumba classes will be either 15 plus or 16 plus, but there are classes out there that will accept you if you're younger and have a responsible adult with you. If you want to know about a type of sport or physical activity, give me the details down below and I'll try and find you an expert to interview. Thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you so much to Sorrel for being a massive supporter of This Girl Can and a brilliant interview guest. I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.